This is the 2021 RX 350L, and it is one of the most underrated luxury cars in Greenville, and today I'm going to review it. Alrighty, so let's start off with the exterior design. So, as you guys know, pretty classic Lexus. You know, you got the big grille in the front, which I personally like. I know some people, though, it's not their favorite. You have the lovely triple beam LED headlights. And yeah, if you are wondering what this color is, this color is the Gracian Water, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it's a super nice color. I absolutely love how this color looks on the RX. Now let's get on to the lighting and the sound. So first up, we have the sound. Not a bad startup. Here's the revs. Alright, now we have the lighting. So as you can see, this does actually have DRLs. And here is the headlights. Blinkers. And this vehicle does not have high beams. Now let's get on to the acceleration on this vehicle. So we're just going to do traction off, rev it all the way up, and we'll see what the 0 to 60 is. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. So as you can see, the power's not too bad. So that will be 0 to 60 in 6 seconds dead. Alrighty, so now we are going to be doing the top speed test real quick. So yeah, let's get to it here. So we're gonna just rev it all the way up. And 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty, so we also have a timer timing the 0 to 100 as well. And yeah, so there's 60. And as you can see, the power does start to pick up a pretty good amount here. I'm genuinely quite impressed. So that is a top speed of 12.34 seconds, which is pretty good with a top speed of 138. Here's the braking. Not too shabby. Alrighty, so now we're going to be doing the handling portion. Rev it all the way up. 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty, so right off the bat, you can tell that this car does not really launch. However, coming into turn 1, I can tell automatically that this car has an okay amount of steering response. It's nothing too bad, but it's not too great either. However, you know what? For how big this car is, I will take this over anything. I love how this thing handles. And yeah, as you can see, we are almost done with this track. Full brake. And that is going to be a lap time of 37.54. Alrighty, so now we're going to do the AEB test. First one is going to be at 60 miles an hour. Let's get up to 60 real quick. And that's 60. And it does, in fact, pass the 60 mile an hour test. And it passes it pretty well. Alright, next we're going to be doing 30. So let's just get up to 30. Pretty easy. And it passes 30. Now let's do 15. So that is 15. And as you can see, it does pass the 15 mile an hour test. Now let's do the pedestrian test, or the... Alright, now let's do the pedestrian test at 60 miles an hour. So let's just get to 60 real quick. So this is just like cruising speed in our most RP servers. And oh! Alrighty, now we are going to be doing the 30 mile per hour test. Let's just back up a little more just to make sure we can absolutely hit 30. And that's 30. And it does pass the 30 mile an hour test. Now let's do 15. Alrighty, so now here is 15 miles per hour. And it just doesn't even recognize that there's a person there. Alrighty, so here we have the car. This is the 2021 Century Aquila. So we have two trims, the base and the luxury. The trim I was using was the luxury, which is $62,500. Or you could get the base, which is $40,000. And here are the rims. You just have two. Here are your colors. And here are the specs. So yeah, top speed of 138, 295 horsepower. It seats 8 people, which is pretty cool. It's got 23 miles per gallon, all-wheel drive, and it weighs 4,619 pounds. Alrighty, so now it's time to give the 2021 RX 350L a score, and I'm going to tell you if you should buy it. Alrighty, so let's get on to the ratings. So starting off in the looks category, the RX 350 doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look necessarily great either, which gives it a 6 out of 10. The acceleration is 0 to 60 in 6.02 seconds and a 0 to 100 in 12.34, which is definitely good enough for getting you around town, but it definitely isn't anything to write home about, especially for this price point, and it gets a 3 out of 10. The speed. The RX 350L has a top speed of 138 miles an hour, which isn't necessarily great, but for a luxury SUV that is still naturally aspirated and not built for performance, it's alright, so it gets a 5 out of 10. Now comes in handling. The RX 350L, for how big it is, actually handles quite nicely, and it gets a 5 out of 10. The brakes. Now, the RX 350L actually has surprisingly good brakes for its size, and it gets a 6 out of 10. Now for the AEB part. In the car test, it did not fail a single thing and gets a 3 out of 3. In the human test, it failed 2 of them and it gets a 1 out of 3. With the overall ranking being a 29 out of 56, which overall is not too bad. It is a little bit over half of the ranking. So now, should you buy this car? Well, I think you should consider it. I don't think that you should go right ahead and buy it. If you prefer a faster SUV, you should really just consider getting an X5 or an X3 instead. However, if you just like a nice relaxing car and you want to be a little bit different, this is definitely the car for you, and the ability to seat 8 and the fact that it isn't banned in most RP servers makes this car very appealing, and that's why I like it. Anyways guys, thank you for watching, I will see you in the next one, and goodbye.